Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, guys, welcome to October. And boy, what a kicker start of the month we've got. XRP back up there, 295, doing really, really well. But of course, we've got this whole government shutdown. What a dog and pony show. I mean, every time they want to raise that debt ceiling, all the politics come out and, oh, this side's not going to do this and this side's not going to do that, and it's all their fault. No, it's all their fault, and all that tit for tat nonsense that, goes on. But who pays the piper? Well, of course, you and I pay the piper, right? Because it affects, the broader economy. I'm watching the dollar taking a nosedive, of course, and that's one reason why I believe we're up a little bit here this morning. The other thing, though, is we could see a dip, because if the shutdown is prolonged, maybe it goes for 1 or 2 weeks. These things are going to get resolved, guys. Let's be honest. They're not going to keep the government shut down for months at a time, that's for sure. But they're going to get to some solution. And when the solution rolls in, of course, before it happens, well, you're going to see a lot of, possible dips in the market. You're going to see services being pulled back. And, of course, they've threatened the firings of, tremendous amounts of, permanent bureaucrats and a lot of these different agencies and stuff, and all this kind of nonsense. Excuse me. Wow. But on the broad scheme of things, is it really affecting, the where we're going, the trajectory of what's happening in this digital asset space and the change that is upon us with the economy? No, guys, it's not. They use these things to their ends, but the reality is we are still on that march towards the change of what's coming in the future. And of course, having yourself invested in distributed ledger technology like XRP and all the things that it supports and stuff like that, to me, in my mind, it is a tremendous big deal. We're investing in a future, and we're not just doing that blindly. I mean, yes, it is speculation, but speculation is not just like throwing darts at balloons, is it? There is analysis that's involved, the sentiment, the technical, the fundamental, all that kind of stuff. And you got to be able to put that and incorporate that into some sort of a strategic framework so that you can actually be a razor sharp investor. That's what investing is all about. And that's what we try to actually be able to, pass on and translate to folks. Today, I'll be meeting with a bunch of folks that are doing coaching, and I'm telling you, one of the biggest favors you can do is to get yourself positioned in a mental state to understand the psychology of this market and why it works that way, and have a strategic framework for developing an investment plan. That is the bottom line. And otherwise, we're just subject to all the knee-jerk reactions that go around. But guys, it is not always knee-jerk. A lot of what these guys are doing, pulling the strings and playing the market the way that they do, it's done with intention. It is done with intention. Now, think about this. Right now, there's a lot of nervousness in the market for sure, and a lot of volatility. It's been up, it's been down, it's been up, it's been down, and stuff like that. We're trading in this range. Yet, at the same time, whales have bought more XRP than they ever have in history. Think about that. Why would these monumental tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of purchases be going through right now? Well, I'll tell you why I think it is. I think, guys, it's because they can see the handwriting on the proverbial wall with the exchange traded funds that are coming out, and how much of an impact that is going to be. Now, as much as they're buying down the road, guys, come on, these big players, they're going to be selling too. Why are they going to be doing that? Because they're in it for the profit. They're in it for, taking 10 million and turning that into 30 million. That's what they're in it for, right? And that's what you want to be thinking about. Look, this idea that you're going to hold it forever and never take a dime of profit. Well, I've seen folks do it, and they ride it all the way up, and they've ridden it all the way back down, and have watched life-changing money come and life-changing money go. And there's something about that you want to think. Now, that does not mean that, hey, we don't have long-term goals in the future with respect to this whole space. That is not what that means. But what it means is that strategic in their plan. I think a lot of people are just kind of floating on waves here, up, down, up, down, up, down. They don't know really what they're doing or why they're even doing it. Even more importantly, see guys, you got to have a why right down in here. You've got to have a why, because if you don't, then you're just basing it on what everybody else is saying. And I'll tell you, that's a recipe for disaster. I have come out and I've said it so many times. I would never make an investment based on somebody else's conviction right there. How about that? Yep. When you're listening to me, you're getting my 100% biased opinion. I make no bones about it. I believe in XRP. I believe in the future of this ecosystem. I believe in what it's going to do and how it is going to monumentally change the way the world even works. I believe that wholeheartedly, I'll tell you what. And so do a lot of these whales. I mean, they are looking at the future. And when these exchange traded funds come out here in October, I think it's going to be a massive move for this ecosystem because, of course, the gobbling up of all that spot, XRP. I think it's going to make a big, big difference. But of course, it's going to be the long-term utility that is really going to change everything. That'll be beyond speculation, guys. That's going to be utility. And market cap, well, it's probably not even going to make a difference when it comes to this space, because this is not like traditional stocks and corporations and all that kind of stuff. It's not like that. Why? Because it transcends those things. The X in XRP literally is there to designate that it is agnostic. It does not matter what the asset is. It does not matter what the monetary instrument is. That's the whole point of XRP on the XRP ledger, that you can literally tokenize anything into it. And that's the whole deal. Real world asset tokenization is going to be the killer utility that literally transforms the way the world works, guys. And of course, you've got the XRP ledger right there, front and center. A lot of people focusing on this whole SWIFT deal and, how they're using consensus and working with them, and as if SWIFT is going to be all there is. The thing is this, guys, it is not the only utility, of course, is not cross-border payments. XRP is absolutely going to be used as cross-border remittances for sure, as a bridge asset. Remember, SWIFT is really a messaging standard. XRP will transform the value proposition. It's the internet of value. And this whole idea that it's never going to work alongside of SWIFT is utter nonsense. It is. Maybe the actual core infrastructure is not going to be there the way in which, they say, or this or that. But you can bet your bottom dollar, as far as I'm concerned, 100%, my opinion, you're going to watch XRP take a lion's share of the conversion and being the bridge asset between a lot of these various monetary instruments and real world assets. You are. That is what I believe. And that is why we're here and we're watching it happen. Come on. Has Ripple's ecosystem shrank back or has it expanded? Oh, it has expanded big time. And of course, all the acquisitions that they have and the clearing houses and on and on and on it goes. It is truly phenomenal. And that's where you got to start, guys. You got to start understanding what it is you're holding. That right there is going to be big, 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 big. But needless to say, it never goes up in a straight line. And by the way, it never comes down in a straight line. Oh, we can see some big time dips. That's true. But it's never usually a straight line. And that's what you got to think about. A lot of people jump in expecting, it's going to just fire off right after they bought. It's going to just go like crazy, and that's the way it's going to be. No, of course, there's that fluctuating, and that's where, Judy and I, when we were getting in, hey, look, we had no guarantees like any of us. None of us have guarantees, but we bought at the dips, and we researched, we built up that reservoir of conviction, and we made decisions on that. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I believe great days are ahead for you and I. But like I said, when we start, and there will be a time, look, we have goals. We're going to take some profit. When that happens, I'm going to start letting you know. And I will let you know the why behind it. I am not going to have this channel for the last couple of years having all you guys following us and then not letting you know what we're doing. Now, I've considered, guys, about, hey, in the middle here of October, whether or not we're going to open up our coaching. I'm going to wait a little bit before we even make that decision, because if things move, they can move very, very fast. But I'll tell you what, I will let you know before like Monday. I'll let you know by Monday next week whether we open that up or not, because it's kind of gauging. I don't like to open it unless I know I can fulfill it for sure, because you're going to want to be Johnny on the spot. When this thing really moves, you are genuinely going to want to be focusing your attention. I would even say, if you can, and it starts moving, take time off work, I kid you not, and get your plan fulfilled. Do what you need to do, because it happens so fast. It is crazy. But guys, I'll tell you, this is going to be the ride of our lives. I genuinely believe it. And until tomorrow, or actually, sorry, I shouldn't say tomorrow, because it's only just today. Look, until later on today, we're going to have another fantastic video for you. And guys, until then, have a fabulous one and take care.